Hey, this is Eric Hunter here, and I want to talk about the spinning of the pendulum when you give a pendulum command. So in pendulum alchemy and in pendulum healing, when you say a command, it's energized by spinning movement of the pendulum that looks like this. And this spinning movement is believed to have esoteric or metaphysical properties that strengthen the power of your intention. So I had a question. So the pendulum from someone, and what they said was that the pendulum was spinning around, but they weren't sure when it was going to stop. Because see, like when I do it, when I say like raise, my consciousness to the highest level possible, it will spin around and then it will go side to side. And that's because unconsciously I move my hand side to side when it's finished. But this person was having an issue because the pendulum would just spin around and they would never unconsciously move it. So they would never know when it was done energizing. And the person asked me like, well, should I just let gravity, let it go until it stops like that, or it just sort of slowly peters out? Or should I just make it stop at a certain point? So the answer to that is pretty straightforward, but you need to understand just a little bit about what's going on with the spin. So the deal with the spin is that the spin itself imparts, as I said, energy to the command, to your statement of desire, your statement of intention. The spinning action energizes it, and it's completely mechanical. It doesn't matter whether you're aware that you were the one who spun it, or if you unconsciously, if the pendulum spins, it doesn't matter if you're aware of it or not aware of it. All that matters is that there is a spinning action that occurs after you say your pendulum command. And that spinning action, whether you do it consciously, like you make the pendulum spin around, or it happens unconsciously, your hand is just subtly moving and you're not aware of it, it's unconscious. Either way, it's going to work. All right, now in terms of finishing it, like I said, when I do it unconsciously, I just get to a point where I know it's over. I feel it energetically because I'm very sensitive. I'm clairvoyant, clairsentient. So I just intuitively stop it doing this motion. And most people that will work, but for a small minority of people, you may not have that sensitivity or awareness to know when to stop it. And it's just spinning and spinning and spinning. And you're the one spinning it, by the way. You have to. If you just kept your hand perfectly still, it would stop. So if it's just spinning and spinning and spinning and you're like, it's never ending. So here's what you can do. You can either A, like the person said, let gravity sort of finish it for you. And if it's taking a long time, let's say it starts off like this much when you first start it, and then gravity is taking it. See how like there, it's about half the distance it was originally? You can just stop there. So if it was like out here, spinning and originally, and then by the end it's like spinning here, you don't have to wait until it gets to the final moment of it stopping. You can, as long as like at least half of it, if it's gone down by about half the diameter of the spin, or if it's noticeably decreased the diameter of the circle that's spinning around, then you can just stop it. The other thing you can do is if it's just going around and around and around and unconsciously, because you're the one moving this thing, unconsciously you're making it just spin forever for some reason, you can just stop it. You can just manually stop it, and you can just wait a little while. And what will happen is if you try to do that pendulum command again, the chances are it won't spin as much because it's already been energized. So some people just unconsciously overdo it. So this is the point of the lesson. There are two major points that we're going to wrap this up. So the first point is that when you say your pendulum command and you spin the pendulum around, it doesn't matter whether if you're aware of the fact that you're spinning it or if you're not aware. So you can either intentionally spin it around, like give it a push like that, like let it go around. You only give it like one push, like one good push like that, let it go around. Or if unconsciously it just starts spinning, your hand's moving unconsciously and it just starts spinning. Either way, it's going to work because the spinning is just a mechanical action. There's nothing, well, it is metaphysical and it is kind of woo-woo, but beyond that, there's nothing magical about it. It's not like there's some spirit controlling your hand or it's the energy or something like that. It's just a purely mechanical action that you do that has metaphysical effects on reality and on your command. So whether you do it consciously or unconsciously doesn't matter. Just get it spinning after you say the command. The next part is, well, what if it doesn't stop after I say the command because unconsciously my hand is just continuing to move it around? So what you can either do is you can either just notice like it starts off pretty strong and then it's getting pretty weak. If it starts getting pretty weak, then just stop it where it's getting weak. That's good enough. You don't have to wait until the bitter end when you get that final little spin in there and then it just completely comes to a standstill. You don't have to do that. When it's noticeably decreased, the amplitude of the spin, just stop it. The other way you can do it is if it's been spinning around for a while, like you say the command and it's like more than 20 seconds. I mean, literally when I do these commands, it's like raise consciousness to the highest level possible, everyone watching this video. So what, this is maybe like 3 seconds. I never do a command as pendulum spin for much longer than that when I'm doing a command. So if you're getting a command spin and it's like going for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, that's way too long. So just stop it. Like after it's spun for a little while, just interrupt it and it's fine. It's done what it needs to do because for some reason you are unconsciously not letting go and surrendering and you're holding on and the pendulum is just continuing to spin around because your hand is moving it. So for whatever reason, you're not allowing it to complete. So just say it, let it go around a little bit. If it's more than like 20 or 30 seconds, just stop it manually and then just move on to the next command. It will work fine. Okay, so I hope that video was useful for those of you who are studying pendulum alchemy and healing. And if you want to learn more about pendulum alchemy and healing and how to use your pendulum for something other than just answering questions, how to use it as a tool to magically influence reality, please check out my website below and my Facebook page to learn more about this. Thank you very much and have a great day. Bye.